So this is precisely the kind of weather that will get you sick. The overcast skies, it's nice and cool. It's probably in the high 50s, low 60s, gentle breeze. The air is crisp by Houston standards. All right, so for those of you who regularly tune into my channel, you can see that I look a lot different. I'm wearing a hat. No, I got contact lenses so that I can wear motorcycle goggles to protect my eyes. And I shaved my beard so that I can wear a respirator without it, well, so that it can make a seal on my face. So if you wear a respirator and you have facial hair, it kind of defeats the purpose of the respirator because it pulls air in. Now, some of y'all are probably going to be thinking that I am overly cautious, overly paranoid with the protocols that I follow. But it bears remembering that I live in Harris County, Texas, which is one of the worst counties in the nation for COVID. So I want to talk about basic going out for grocery shopping, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. So first of all, I wear a hat because it is a protectant. So you want to think in terms of layers of armor, layers of protection, things that if the airborne virus lands on you, it's something that you can shed and get off of you later. I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt. This is not a drill. And the reason for that is I want to be able to easily put sanitizer on my arms after I'm done. I'm going to show you my respirator. Y'all are going to laugh, I'm sure. But I take this also seriously because of where I live. Okay, y'all ready? Hello. Right? We've all seen super maskers. People do not care. Okay, so nobody's gonna be like, oh my God, look at that guy, right? Because this is Harris County. People just really don't give a shit. Now the other thing I'm gonna do, well, let me put this on. Oh, damn it. Put these on as well. For no other reason than I really don't want people talking to me. When I look like this, ain't nobody gonna want to talk to me. I cannot hear you assholes, so don't even try. The other thing that I'm hoping is that maybe to be so off-putting, people just don't want to be on the aisle next to me, but we'll see. Generally, the crazier you look, the more space people give you, so that's kind of the effect that I'm going for. I forgot my goggles, so I actually kind of screwed up a little bit because it would be better for me to have glasses. But whatever, rain dance, here we go. Live on the wild side, be a rebel. So one of the disadvantages of this respirator, besides the obvious, crazy appearance, is this right here. So this is a breathing vent. So the air I inhale goes through these cartridges. These are P100 cartridges. That one's backwards. You shouldn't see the handwriting. This one's installed correctly. This one's backwards. So I want to show y'all, if you see the writing in one of these, the filter's actually backwards. This air vent right here, all my breath goes down. So if I'm infected, it's just going to get COVID all over my shirt. And it's going to be in the air around me. I can actually feel my breath. So if I blow, I can feel it down to about right here. So these things don't do anything to protect others. It just protects you. You can do stuff like shoving some cotton balls up in there, or any other general, what do you call it? These will protect you, but they don't really protect the people around you. A lot of people wear valved masks anyways. Again, the idea of masks is that it helps. It does a little bit. It's not perfect protection, but it's better than nothing. Now, in terms of fit, if you noticed just a second ago, I had these bands were really, really tight on my face.
I've loosened them up because I want to talk about fit. Okay, a tight fit is actually kind of counterproductive. You want the mask to rest gently on your head. You pull these tabs just a little bit, but you want just a very slight amount of tension. It's also got these adjustments back here. You don't want it really tight, because when it's really tight, it will slide around on your face as you're looking up and down and everywhere. And when it's sliding around on your face, it's smearing all of the stuff that collects on your face. It's smearing it around. And it's also working it underneath the silicone barrier. So you should be able to look, and whenever you look, you should not feel the tension changing all over the place. So whenever it's too tight, when you turn your head, you'll feel it pull your mask one way or the other. You don't want that. You want it basically just the minimum amount of tension necessary, and then just a little sprinkle of more tension. So that's really what you want. Also, now you can see I have fixed this so that they are both turned the correct way. So that is what you should see on the sides of a respirator. Do not get buggies out of the buggy return because they have not been cleaned. Most grocery stores will clean their buggies at the front door, so you don't want to do that. Trying to have these complimentary wipes. I like to grab a few and keep them in my buggy so that first style I always go to, hand sanitizer. Why? Because I forgot hand sanitizer. I can always grab one off the shelf and use it in the store, and then just pay for it at the checkout line, right? So this is where growing up poor comes in handy. You get something you need right away, use it in the store and pay for it afterwards, right? So, sorry, not sorry, but that's what I'm doing. I'm actually surprised they've got lots of disinfectants here today. Alcohol absolutely kills the virus the faster. We got a limit of 4 disinfecting wipes, so we'll get these. The hypochlorous acid, that's what they use in dentist offices. Dentist offices. That's what gives the dentist office that distinctive smell. These I'm just not going to trust. I don't trust anything green. Give me chemicals all day long. What's best? Alcohol wipes work the best. Hypochlorous acid is also really good. The benefit of hypochlorous acid, you can put it in a vaporizer and vaporize it into the air in your house. You can breathe it, but you don't want to make it a habit. In other words, don't put it in a vaporizer and don't run your vaporizer 24 hours a day. That's a mistake. But for short bursts of time, you can put this stuff in a vaporizer. That's what I do. Experiencing limited supply. Oh no, not the turkey bacon. Whatever will I do?
So the restrooms are conveniently next to the turkey bacon, just in case you decide to throw up thinking about turkey bacon. And I heard the Dyson Airblades running from the restrooms. And I wanted to address these and bring these up because these things blow germs all over the place. So give them a wide berth, avoid them as much as possible. Just stick straight with the paper towels. Paper towels are much more effective.
I want to show air filters real quick. See this MERV rating? MERV 8, right? What you want to look for, see this one's MERV 11. You can actually find MERV 13, and there are even higher ones than that. But that's what you want to look for in the filters, this MERV rating right there. Keep in mind, it's going to depend on your air conditioner. The higher the better, but there's also a trade-off. If you get a filter that's too restrictive, you're going to overwork your central heating and air, and it's going to be running all the time and creating more air currents in your home. So you have to keep that in mind. My recommendation would be to just spend an hour or so doing the science, do the experiments, pick up several different filters at different MERV ratings for your air conditioner, and then you're going to put the filters in, and then just sit down, take notes of how much your air conditioner switches on and off. Okay, what you want is you want your air conditioning to turn on, run for a few minutes, and then turn off. Okay, what you don't want is you don't want your air conditioner turning on and off really quick, and you don't want it to turn on and stay running for a very long time and then turn off. Okay,
so at this point, apparently I thought I had been recording, but I wasn't, so there's a scene missing. I come home with the groceries. I put all the groceries out in the garage, and then what I do is I set them in the garage, and then I take off all of the outer layers of clothing that I've been wearing, and I put them in a plastic bag, and then I spray myself down with the sanitizer. I sanitize my hands, my arms, take off my mask, sanitize my face. Yeah, this is horribly unpleasant. Then I run off and I go take a shower, and then I come back to address the groceries. The other day, I got the plastic bags right here, so I'm gonna bag these up. And everything from my pockets and keys and everything right there. All right. My groceries are all right there. I've got this mat that we spray things on, and then a garage fridge right there. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna run up and shower and bag these up and put them in the washer, and I'll show you all how to do that next. Plastic bag just like this, and then just a half knot. You don't want a permanent knot, but just fold it together in half so you can carry them like this through the house. Alright, so now this is something that a lot of people consider overkill, but my mantra is the idea is to overreact, right? So do yourself a favor and overreact. That's advice that was given to me by somebody who lived in New York whenever the first major surge was hitting the US. It has worked well for me. Understand there's plenty of material out there that says you don't have to do this, and you don't. And it's something that I do really kind of sort of more for meditative peace, if you will. So it's my process, right? It keeps me calm, and it's good for my mental health, okay? If it's not good for your mental health, you don't need to do it, okay? I want to show y'all. So that's hypochlorous acid. That's a garden sprayer. It's not actually filled with disinfectant. It is filled with Roundup. So I'm not going to spray my groceries with that, because that would just be silly and poisonous and stupid. So at the grocery stores, they actually use these pump-up sprayers filled with hypochlorous acid to disinfect their shopping carts. That's what the lady was doing in the video earlier. You do need to be careful with hypochlorous acid, because even though it is safe, if you leave it on fabrics, it will eventually bleach the fabrics. Excuse me, fabrics. So keep that in mind. You know, it's safe for you, but hypochlorous acid is actually the disinfecting constituent of bleach. So bleach is sodium chloride or chlorite or chlorate, sodium something or other. Here. Get this to rest here. Sodium hypochlorite, okay? So sodium hypochlorite, okay? Keep that hypochlorite in mind, because hypochlorite and hypochlorous sound very similar. So this is sodium hypochlorite. Sodium, you think table salt, right? So sodium and chlorine together make sodium chloride, which is NaCl. That is your table salt. The way hypochlorous acid is made is literally with salt water, and you run an electric current through the salt water, and it produces hypochlorous acid, okay? So all of these things are very closely related, okay? So you got sodium and chlorine of some kind, right? And water, okay? So hydrogen and oxygen. Hypochlorous acid is salt water that's had electricity run through it. If you're familiar with swimming pools, there are saltwater pool systems where you add specialized salt to your pool, and the system, it has an electric grid, some kind of electric fuel cell kind of thing that it runs the water through, and the electricity reacts with the salty water and produces this stuff, and then you don't have to use chlorine, okay? Now, I don't get overly OCD with this part of it, okay? Just spray it, and then I move the stuff over to the end, and so I just go through all the bags, spray, and move it over. Now, even just a simple spray over the top is, it's better than nothing, right? Now, if you're anything like me and you want to do this in the best way possible, spraying, when you just liberally spray everything, you're gonna blow through your disinfectant really fast. So what works well, especially if you're low on this stuff, is get a cloth and get it nice and wet, and then use that to just wipe stuff down. And the good part of that is it stays on the cloth, and you can conserve significantly more disinfectant this way. At the expense of its more physical labor, and it takes longer, but it's more effective, okay? So, you can blow through your disinfectant really quick and give it a light dusting, we'll call it. Or you can conserve your disinfectant, and you can do a very thorough job, but at the sake of taking several times longer if you're me, because I'm ADHD and I'm like, oh, squirrel. Another good, fast strategy is to take your stuff out and put it the way it would normally be facing on a shelf, right, where people are facing, and then just spray at it like the way somebody would sneeze. And that also gets it done pretty quick. But again, it all depends on your level of dedication, and you should never try to take it so far that it stresses you out or upsets you, because if you screw up your mental health, then you're going to make mistakes and you're going to end up sick. So mental health is the absolute most important factor you should consider. And that's it. I hope you had as much fun watching me buy groceries as I had doing all of this and editing the video. No, seriously, with me living in one of the worst spots in the US, these practices have kept my family safe. My wife had COVID back in July, and these practices kept the rest of us from getting sick. So I hope you'll take them seriously with you coming into the new COVID season from November to January. And like I said, I hope this helps somebody. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all on another video. You do need to be careful with hypochlorous acid, because even though it is safe, if you leave it on fabrics, it will eventually bleach the fabrics. Excuse me, fabrics.